Hi Boots, with class 108. We are doing a 360 frontal on the sewing machine today. So what I'm doing is I have this piece of fabric that I use for my 360 frontals instead of cutting up caps. I hate wasting money. So I bought about 4 or 5 yards of this material. It's the exact same material that they use on the caps. I'm going to show you how I put that on here to start off. So I'll try to pin it down to make sure it's fitted to the top, and I pull it to where the hairline is, and then I'll stretch it down the back. And same way you fold down a frontal. So I'm going to fold that down, pin that as well, pull it and fold it on the other side as well. Because I just want the top of it to be flat to the canvas head. I'm going to take my 360 frontal. You want to pull this all the way down to where it's snug around the circumference. And I'm just pinning this down. Now on this part, you can see a little bit of space in between the canvas head and the frontal. You don't want to have that space. You want to pull it down to where you have no space at all. Now when I get to these combs, I have people ask me about how do I sew around the combs. I just sew through the openings, not the openings of the comb, but the opening space to where I know the thread and the cap won't get caught on the inside. So you want to sew in between the parts of the comb. You want to go ahead and continue to sew the rest of the cap all the way around. Now here's how it should look. It should be all the way flat down to the cap, to the head. I'm going to cut off the rest of this excess material, put the rest up for the next time. And as you can see, the material is still really stretchy. And I'm just going to show you how I take the combs out. See, when you do it this way, it's easy to pull them out. That way, once you start sewing, you're not nicking those combs, and you're able to freely move those combs out of the way. Now I doubled my tracks already. If you want to see how I doubled those tracks, you can click the link at the top. My first thing I am going to do is I'm going to sew the frontal down all the way around. Now when I cut the material off of the cap, when I cut the excess material off under the cap, I left maybe half an inch of material left on there, so that when I sew it on there, then that half of material gets sewn on there with the cap as well. so that I don't have any of my material moving. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to sew all of this around, and I'll show you guys how that looks. Now that should be able to fit snug down onto the canvas head. I'm going to start pinning them left to right, or right to left, the exact same thing. And I always get asked, why do I pin my tracks down to my cap instead of just drawing guidelines? To me, I can see the guidelines as well. If you want to draw guidelines, you're more than welcome to use that technique and hand in hand with this one. But pinning down the tracks onto the cap allows your cap and your tracks to feed into the sewing machine as one. You don't have to worry about the tracks moving. You don't have to worry about the cap moving. You don't have to worry about the cap bunching up. You don't have to worry about the cap being out of place. You don't have to worry about absolutely any of that. And I do use measurements as well, but since I already know my measurements for this, I just went ahead and made the wig. So yeah, I just pin, sew, pin, sew, pin, sew. And taking the cap from the sewing machine to the canvas head I get done really fast. So it does not take time, and it allows me to make sure that the consistency of the cap stays the same from the bottom to the top. Because of course I always start at the bottom. Everyone does. I'm going to take this off of here, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an up-close view. Now that should be seamless on the inside and out. As it is. Now I'm down to this small part. So I'm fitting the size track that I want and need. And I'm going to cut this one open because I want this top part to be as flat as possible. And I have more than enough tracks to cover my area. So I just want that to be behind the frontal. I like that. I like my last maybe 1 or 2 tracks to be singular, just because it is more seamless to the back. If you try to put a double track right there, you'll be able to see the track. So keeping the track singular allows it to be more seamless, and you're able to push some of that hair from the frontal over that last track and conceal it, because pretty much that's going to be the only track that you'll have to conceal. If you do this correctly, absolutely every single track on that cap will be concealed. After I'm done, I always cut off the excess strings to make sure that there is no strings or clutter left underneath. So she did get fluffy as I was working with her. So I'm just putting some leave-in conditioner on here, some BTZ protein. It is, like I said, it's a leave-in conditioner. And I combed it through. So I'm combing that all the way through to make sure it gets to every strand, so that I don't have to worry about any frizziness. Now this hairline was not pre-plucked, so I am going through and plucking the hairline to make it more natural. And I was all done. Now if you guys like this video, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next time. You're more than welcome to also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, I premiere these videos to where you can chat live with me. I'm on there almost every time. Not almost every time, but absolutely every single time that these videos premiere. A lot of my other content flows through my Instagram to my Facebook. So go ahead and please follow me, and then let me know who you are, because then I can follow you guys back. That way we can, get chatted up, girl. And no, thank you so much. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.